back to Seconds Out. My name is Ayman. We are here in Dubai with the one and only, the legendary Roy Jones Jr. Roy, pleasure to meet you, pleasure to speak to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Pleasure to meet you and a pleasure to speak with you too.
Roy, you got your fight here preparing for Delphine Pursoon this Sunday night. Talk to me about Delphine Pursoon. We know her quite well being on the UK shores. We've seen her fight twice against Katie Taylor. Brilliant performances those two times, but what do you make of her as a fighter?
She's an awesome fighter, one of the best female fighters I've seen in a while because of that immaculate pressure that she applies. She's like, you can't ask for much better. You know what I mean? It's like to me, she's the toughest female in boxing to fight against.
With that said, then, do you have to come up with a couple of plans for this fight, or is it just let your fighter go with the plan?
You gotta have a couple of plans, but the fighter has to stick to the plan. So we do have a couple of plans, but if the fighter can stick to the plans, then we should be good. If the fighter don't stick to the plans, it won't work. So you got to stick to the plan, or you won't have a chance for her.
It's been mentioned now that Eubank Jr will be linking up with yourself again, taking on Liam Smith again, two fighters we know very well over in the UK. Liam Smith as a fighter, what do you make of him?
I think he's an absolute marvelous fighter, a guy that you have to deal with. He'll be bringing his A game, and I know it because he's fighting Eubank, and Eubank has a name too. So this is a big fight for the UK, one I'm definitely looking forward to.
Chris has been putting himself in a pressure situation. He said that when it was back with the Conor Benn fight, he said if he lost that fight, he'd retire. Maybe those stakes might be there for Liam Smith fight too. But for a fighter who's in that mindset, what's it like to coach someone with that mindset going into a fight?
Well, with that particular fight, it was different because that's a family feud. You understand? So that's one that's different. With a fight like Liam Smith, this is back to reality. The fight was so much of a family feud that I wasn't going to come to the fight because he was going to let his dad come and train him because of the family feud. So, of course, you feel like if you lose that family feud fight, why keep fighting? Liam Smith, on the other hand, is a whole different guy. He's fought Canelo. He fought some big fighters. So Liam Smith is a different type of fight. It's not a family feud. It's a business. And in boxing, it's the hurt business. So we must take care of Liam Smith how we have to do it.
Right, I wondered what your thoughts are in terms of the quality of coaching within the boxing scene. I was listening to an interview with Chris Eubank Sr. He said there's a lot of people in boxing who are maybe unqualified to coach boxers coming through. You yourself are obviously very qualified with your career, but what do you make of the scene, people who train fighters? Do you think that the scene is full of talent in terms of coaching talent?
The coaching talent probably has dropped a lot because a lot of the old guys have passed on. And to me, they didn't pass down a lot of knowledge like they probably should have done, which is why I try to give as much as I can back to the sport. Some guys did, but a lot of guys still, the guys that they passed are now getting out. I'm thankful for people like Freddie Roach, Hunter. There's a lot of good guys still around teaching. I don't knock other guys teaching because people can teach. Some guys look at Enzo Calzaghe. He never had a fight in his life. Look what his son did, undefeated career. So it's like you can't knock guys because some guys just get it from intuition from God. You never know. So it's different, but it is what it is.
Floyd Mayweather's on this bill. He takes on Dereck in a crossover fight for yourself. You've had crossover. Well, you had an exhibition not too recently. It was against Mike Tyson. Are you entertaining another exhibition potentially, Roy?
Yes, I'm always entertaining. If it's something that makes good sense and good money, why not? I mean, you're alive. You still train these guys every day in the gym, so obviously you still can move a little bit, or you wouldn't be able to train these guys. So if you're doing it anyway, why not?
Could you and Floyd mix it up?
I doubt it. Too far apart in weight. That would cost the world $200 million a piece. We're too big for that, you know what I'm saying? But $200 million a piece, we probably would mix it up, So.
Your thoughts on Anthony Joshua? He's someone who said he's a free spirit now, and he said he's looking to mix it up with a number of coaches. If you had time one-on-one with Anthony Joshua, what facets of his game would you look to improve if you had that time with him?
Well, I spoke to him at the fight last weekend.
Right.
In my opinion, he still has everything necessary to become champ again. I'll get him in the gym and look at him, assess his game, and I think he'll be back to the top within 6 to 8 months. I got a good long-term plan for him, and if we agree on a plan, which I haven't told him yet, but I do have a plan for him because I feel like knowing boxing, I kind of know how to go for a guy most of the time, and I kind of know what's the best route for him to take because I've been watching his whole career. So I definitely have a good plan in mind for him. When he comes to see me in Brighton, when I go train Chris, we'll speak about it. I'll assist his gym, I'll work, then I'll tell him what my plan is. If he likes the plan, we'll get on the plan. If he don't like the plan, then he'll go find somebody that It's Usyk.
How about mindset-wise? We saw him take the mic after the loss to Usyk, and people have made a lot of that. How do you correct the mindset of a fight if it does need correcting?
Well, his mindset really don't need correcting, but it's a lot of ways to kind of nurture that mindset. And that's what my point is. The whole plan I got is really built on mindset. So it's like, I'm glad, and I told him the other night, I'm glad you're not fighting again right away, because I would like to see you change a few things, reset your mind first, then go back at him. Because if you go back out with the same game you had, you yourself, everybody else knows what changed. Just like when you fought Usyk, what changed? Nothing. So it's like, we got to change things to expect a different outcome. So if I can get him for 4 or 5 months, change a few things, then it's possible we can make some different outcomes. That's my plan.
Where can I get a couple of thoughts from you? A couple of other things. First of all, Tyson Fury takes on Dereck Chisora in a trilogy fight. Your thoughts on that fight?
That's a beautiful fight. You always want to see the classic boxer versus the classic puncher. So, I mean, it's an awesome opportunity for both guys. I mean, it keeps Tyson Fury busy, gives Chisora another shot to try to land that one banger to win him a world title again. So that's a beautiful fight.
Do you see many gaps in Tyson Fury's game?
Not many at all. Not many at all.
It seems like the logical progression would be Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. As those two fighters, who would you pip over the other one?
Well, it's a tough fight to call, but like they said, normally the good big guy beats the good little guy. And both of these guys are exceptional guys, just that Fury is 6'6", Usyk's not. So my hand goes towards Fury right away because of the size differential, but both of them have very high IQs. Both of them are very good fighters. Anybody can win the fight because they're both, because of their IQs are so high, either guy can win the fight. But I just, like I said, the old school saying is the good big guy beats the good little guy, so we'll see.
Jake Paul took on Anderson Silva. Jake, someone who's really making names for himself within the YouTube boxing sphere. People are now talking about him being the legitimate boxer in the ring now. Do you see him as that?
Yes, I do. I've always, since the Tyron Woodley fight, I've seen him as a real legitimate puncher, a legitimate boxer, because he put Tyron Woodley out in boxing form. He set him up, he threw a nice overhand right, like you would do as a boxer, and he got him out of there.
Jake Paul, Chris Eubank Jr. is a potential fight. Would you like to see that?
They do it. It makes the money. Why not? You know, nowadays we're into things that arouse the human enthusiasts. People who want things that people want to see. People more into events more so than they are fights, because they're not getting the fights they want. So they go to the event instead of the fight. So like, we want Crawford Spence, but we can't get it. So when we take Eubank versus Paul, yes, because at least it's a fight that we know that we would love to see. It's a spectacle. You understand me? So we don't get the fights we want, we take spectacles.
One thing I wanted to touch on from you is you've got Russian citizenship. The WBC have made a move to take out Russian fighters from the rankings as well as Belarusian fighters. Your thoughts or your reaction to that?
I don't think we should mix sports and politics. You know, I mean, politics are one thing, sports are another. Sports is supposed to be a second way of reuniting, not the same thing as the political world is doing. So we'll see what happens.